which it should be on subject, maybe about 30 minutes. But basically, it's being close to 60, that's not really will go involved in kidney function. And so there's some other things that can also cause maybe temporarily cause that to be different, like dehydration. Like that. That's why you want to have a brief test and just focus on that, doing your rapid tests. And a lot of times doctors don't say anything because I work in facilities and I say, ooh, 65, or 55. Okay, and I was like, 55 is still low, and nobody's telling me. I said, I want to talk to your doctor first, but it looks like you have beginning with kidney. And so when that happens, it takes many years to develop. People come to me and they're trying to preserve their kidneys at that point. So that's a whole other topic. So the tiny blood vessels in the kidney and nephrons. And so not to get into too much detail here, but the blood glucose, again, those big rambunctious molecules are carrying up the kidney. On top of that, high blood pressure. Think of having filters, okay? And so there's little holes that will be filtering the blood, but then that pressure is just getting through those holes. So that filter doesn't work very well. So high blood pressure is super important. So one thing from high blood pressure and with diabetes, the kidneys can only go to dialysis or kidney transplant. That's not fun. I worked at the dialysis center in internship, so it's just basically, for those who know, it's just basically machines that just clean the entire volume of blood back to put it back in. So that's not fun either. And the diet is really weird. That's pretty much opposite of what's healthy all the time. So when it comes to heart disease in general, these are the general things that you might have heard already: high blood pressure, arrhythmias, heart failure, peripheral artery disease, deep vein thrombosis, strokes. So things like that. Those are good topics. There can be a few more symptoms here. Sometimes people are not expressing it, but chest pain, chest pressure, exhaustion, fatigue, those are the So hypertension, the high blood pressure, a lot of times has more symptoms. Again, that could be a heart attack, renal failure, because again, like I was saying, they just, pushing blood through the kidney a little bit too hard, blood vessel damage, headaches, confusion, retinopathy, also affecting the eyes, because all these little veins, they get smaller. They start out being arguably, things get smaller and smaller until they're almost just microscopic. So just think of all that bad fat, things like that, going through the flags, trying to get through those little tendons. Okay, so a lot of people say, well, just run to my family, and there is some percentage of that could be true, but the genes really should change the DNA expression of things. There's different nutrients that help that, like folate from vegetables and fruit, different foods that, especially the dark green ones and beans, and those can help the DNA expression if we express correctly in the right way. And so when people aren't getting enough of those, then, well, the expression is not go the right way for their DNA. And so being physically active, getting to or maintaining a healthy weight is very important. Most of my clients are trying to lose weight. So I have a weight management program that's actually kind of long term. So a lot of my clients have been with me for over a year, and they're still with me. And so we just work on a lot of spiritual tools and things that they can enjoy and still lose weight and keep it off that goals to keep it on. There's so many different ways to lose weight. So I know when it comes to losing weight, a good weight loss program is one that you can, it's not fad, it's not eradicating a lot of things that you really need to have, and it's something you can sustain for a very long time. And then you make little tweaks to it and still do with that program, because if it's not, so many people, and they've come to me, a lot of my clients have done so many things. I've heard that said, everything from gym cares, weight loss to noon to just everything, and a lot of them come bouncing around. So it has to be where, your vision is very clear and what you want. Some people actually think they want that, but there's something still in the way. We think it would be. And so we work with all that. So back to this though, if you have diabetes, that's really important to kind of keep that track. As part of these family history is not a death sentence. And there's definitely should get done. We have also nutrigenomics testing, and we run at the University of Toronto. I really like that company, and so they have some really good nutrigenomics testing. And so for me personally, I really like it because it's about 75% of the time they're already, immunoselective response, immunoselective. They're just saying everything I already thought, and then I learned to do things too, like any more negative reads than the average person. So probably the average person maybe 1,000 learns, I need probably up to 6 weeks. So it's really good to have that information. It's very customized for your one.
How do you get a test like that?
Well, you would have to look up a provider that has that, and so there are some others in their directory. So.
Is that something like you go to your doctor and as you're getting checked for diabetes and all these things, is that something they do? Or?
No, and I have to, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's not a diagnostic test with this, it doesn't do that. It just says that you have the genes that would predispose you greatly to that. So, for example, I have not tested for lactose intolerance, but, it says that I'm definitely, some high risk for that. And so it does. So from there, you could probably take the test and then you can officially test it. Those sort of things. So it's still maybe not an answer to those liquid. So here's the statistics. The approximate number of Americans with diabetes, 37 million, 800,000. The approximate number of U.S. citizens who have heart disease, 678,000 deaths. This is one that really was close to my heart because that's how many deaths could have been prevented with nutritional intervention. And 80%, by some estimates, of sudden cardiac deaths have been prevented just with nutritional intervention. So it's like, okay, the job's there for us, so we just gotta get out there. So the top cause of U.S. death, those are the top ones, according to the CDC. And so about roughly half of all the 10, about 4 or 5 of those are definitely the top 2 to be definitely nutritional related, especially first one. And then stroke also, Alzheimer's, there's some interplay there with that, and diabetes obviously. So, and some influences of some of the other two that I can So what causes these conditions? There's a lot of overlap between diabetes and heart disease. So a lot of obesity, that's why I went into this field because I just thought it would be more fun to help people prevent for those who are going rather than, on medications and everything. So I really like that. I saw the power of that. That's why we did that. And so as you can see there, it's pretty straightforward, pretty obvious. And so what can we do to prevent? This is where this is the part I want. First of all, some tests. These are some different tests that you can have done if you're concerned. And this is going to be made available too. So if you Barbara, I think she said that we can have this available too. It's a good idea if you're concerned by your own blood sugar. It's just to keep a kit around. You can get this at Walgreens. Sometimes insurance will pay back. You just kind of stab your finger like it's going. There's no way to do that, but that's one granular, readily accessible and understanding. That's not called one. So just that person. If you have anything into the calories for the last 8 to 12 hours, then you can see what the response is for your loved one. And this one, some people freak out, but because it's allowed to go up a little higher, you've already used it. So it's not fasting. And A1C is the average of the 2 or 3 months. So it's a very good, it's just a very good way to, instead of, keeping yourself constantly like that, it's just a great thing. Another thing is that you can go to your doctor and get a chance if you go through your name, then you can get that done. You can probably get reimbursement for it, but insurance doesn't pay for right away with me, if you just want to get it done before you get it. You can also do that with as well. Okay, and so blood pressure we need to look for. Those are some numbers. So yeah, I used to work at health fairs, and so if anybody came in and they were around here, you had to really just fall off the ground. So that's not good. Systolic, diastolic. So systolic is not on top, and diastolic is on the bottom. So a healthy weight is imperative. This is very, very important. There are some things out there online about health and exercise and even some dietitians, nutritionists who are promoting that. I'm not for that because even if you did have any bad markers at all, you still have pressure in the joints, and there's an increased risk of disease. So it's really good idea to get a healthy weight range. It reduces inflammation, like we were talking about. And less impact on joints, blood vessels, less impact on the heart, and it helps inflammation better. Now, it's very important to screen yourself for exercise if you haven't done it in a long time. And to find activities that you really like. And a lot of my clients, they have all this kind of fun in the summer, and then the winter they're really dreading that summer. And then come in winter again, really depressed. And then to do, it's not a lot to do with that. I had one, older, I don't know, this is what I say here, but basically they were finding very creative ways to get walking around town. Let's get creative. And I love to help people get that. In my range, I think this is part of the deal. And it's a very big deal. But I think it's just a thing. It still works. I think it works all well. You see some little, someone has really big bones like that. They could play with it. It's still pretty reliable. But yeah, I think there are other ways. You know, because when you do the waist separation, body fat percentage, visceral body fat, waist circumference, and more. So waist circumference, that's the general, I think if you have a tape measure. So men should be under 40 inches at the waistline, women 35 or less. And that's another good thing.
Like there's just one weight measurement for all women? Like for all men and all women, that's sort of like the average?
About that, yeah.
It's crazy.
Now that you mention that, now you maybe know a little bit more, but yeah, that's what we want to do. Food journaling is key. It's very key. That's also very controversial, but I really think that that's very important. And I have pretty much all my clients food journal. And there's easier ways to do that. It's not hard at all. There are ways now to make it easier. My fitness pal is one of them. And there's some other ones too. And we have Eat Love meal timing program where it's pretty easy to do. Eat a meal, you just put a hate on that food and stuff. You don't have to journal, you're doing it pretty much. And you can also barcode scan things on the small brands. Yeah, so food journal, even if it's just writing it down, you don't have to start something. I should have kept a slide in here about my time. Even if you're familiar with my time. Okay, so for you, did you want to take it?
What is it?
My fitness pal.
My fitness pal?
Yeah. So it's pretty good. And overall, there's some ins and outs about it. There's some negatives and positives. But overall, it's overall healthy. I think, and it just shows very eye-opening what people are eating. A lot of times people back and say, I have no idea what, the amount of compound or inside things or that or anything. That's not enough though. So what happens is I look at the food journal and I see what is going on. A lot of times there's still things going on, even if they think they're eating numbers, there's still something that needs to be brought on. But anyway, it's still not good. So produce is very powerful and encouraging. We've always heard, every hand will roll. How many times people heard food conditions? Everybody should read it. Okay, produce is powerful and imperative. So we need to increase vegetable and fruit intake. There are literally hundreds of thousands of antioxidants in all the different colors of fruits and vegetables. Each one has a different nutrient. So, even the lycopene would be red and oranges, and the anthocyanins would be purple. Skin actually reduce blood pressure and things like that. So each color has a different nutritive benefit. So when they say eat like a rainbow, it's not some cute little kindergarten phrase. It really is scientifically that we need to eat every color. Fruits and vegetables have a high amount of potassium, and so that counteracts sodium in the typical American diet that we have, salad diet. Very for healthy fiber, water, the Mediterranean diet represents that very well. And so yeah, supplements are very nice and can be necessary sometimes, but it's really important to get supplements from food first as much as possible. So some supplement forms can actually even be dangerous and taken to a vitamin C or calcium is not really recommended to take just to boost your lifestyle a lot of times. So all of those things can be dangerous to do too much when you're home without going to the food first as much as possible. So fiber, traditionally, we've heard about fiber when I was growing up, all throughout my life about how it helps constipation and helps with that and that kind of thing. It's mostly there. But it's so much more than that now because who here has heard of the gut biome? A few of you. Okay, good. So, anybody want to get started with that?
Yeah, you've got different bacteria that exist in your gut.
Yes. Yes, very, very much so. You're saying you're more cells there than the rest of our body. There's a second brain. There's basically a neural network going from the gut to the brain. We don't know exactly what all the things are in that before. My theory, I've heard this before, is just a theory, but is that they're communicating cravings. Hey, you know, if you eat blood sugar, we got the right kind of bacteria for eating blood sugar, so we want more. Things like that. So it's very important for us to get ahead of that and just eat healthy and let the gut biome catch up. Because a lot of times we're eating things that could be causing some dysbiosis, and that dysbiosis is not controlling us. So that's the theory. It's more than just a theory. We're finding things that kind of validate. So the fiber is what feeds that big bacteria. The fiber is really important. So it also helps blood sugar to not hit our body suddenly, and why it refines carbs and sugar. And so that's another thing is that we have so many of these diets now, like keto, and there's Atkins for that, and they're just really demonizing carbs. And the thing is that yes, carbs and fat have the highest calories and definitely cause issues, but not the whole grains as much at all. If you're not sensitive to it anyway, the complex carbs are what's very important. And so I have another presentation where I really focus on that a lot, but that would just be like to see the oats there, things like that. They celebrate the Ezekiel bread and the good one, sprouted bread, bread. That's just a lot of different things like whole wheat, just about anything you can do target wheat from. There's farro, there's tuff, there's quinoa. So any of those are whole grain carbs. And so if you just watch the portion of those, it's extremely beneficial, not only for weight loss, you exercise for the inside of you as well, because your stomach turning out, your intestines are turning out, your body is putting out a lot of energy just to digest that, as opposed to just a white overcooked pasta and it just tastes yummy, but it's just, increasing that blood sugar really fast, depending on what you're doing. So the good fiber not only feeds that gut biome, the bacteria enjoys that and makes them more prolific, but it also helps bind cholesterol to move it out of the body. Isn't that great? In fact, they're saying there's one study around across that said that meat's bad for you, red meat, all this stuff. But if you're going to do that, increase your fiber. That means just reducing doing things like that, which you don't want. So I have a few clients who just really have to have red meat in there because I discourage that, and so we try to get the fiber.
So I know you said
the servants.
Right. I know you said that we shouldn't take as much supplements, but is taking a fiber supplement?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's not the next one, but that one is made out of usually selenium husks and things like that. And so that's better than not having any fiber, but it's better just, I'm wondering at that point why it's not coming from food. And then the second thing is if you're going to take a supplement, that flax meal or other natural fibers, sure, like that would be a probably good idea. Because flax meal has omega-3s and things like that would be more beneficial than just the selenium. Okay. So increased plant foods, which is vegetables, fruit, beans, nuts, seeds, meat and dairy has zero fiber. So people are eating a lot of that might be constipated. And here are the numbers. So that would be good. I think I'll be tracking the market discount, things like that. To go, sometimes I go in there and I don't know if you know, but those of you who know about market discount, you go and sugar is the last column. I'll take that out and switch out for fiber because you're not eating a lot of sugar on it. Let's say that you don't really eat a lot of sugar. You can just change that for fiber. And so men should be up to 30 to 38 grams, women up to that much. And it's going to be hard to be hungry if you're eating that much fiber. Number one. Number two is that, the other thing I have to say is that you need to work up slowly, because if you just go from like 5 grams a day to that much, it can be very uncomfortable. Your stomach's going to be looking like heck. And also you have to have a lot of water. It goes slowly. Starting just 10 to 15. So magnesium is a mineral that is very, very important. Over 300 enzymatic processes in the body. They found that those with reverse systems with heart failure, AFib, and cardiovascular complications in type 2 diabetes. So less cardiovascular complications through the diabetes who were essentially ahead of diabetes. So that's again dark green leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, dark chocolate. So that's really nice to know. So a lot of these plant-based. And so a lot of people are low in it, magnesium. So when they're trying to figure out all the things that are beneficial about it and all that, there's a lot we can find out there about it. And also on the sideline note, it helps depression and anxiety as well. So it just helps a lot of things. So you very important getting out there. We have a lot of processed foods, and I was reading the other day, didn't get into here, but that a lot of processed foods, when the way people cook their food, you can be reduced by 80%. So even though you're thinking you're eating great, but then it just depends on processed foods and all that. So I'm a big fan of whole foods. You know, I love eating out, and I love convenience foods, even healthier convenience foods, but I don't have to pay back myself again. So not too much. Just whole cooking with such nutrient retention. So omega-3s are more helpful than not. There's studies all over the place on that one. Both are all beneficial though. So omega-3s are the essential fatty acids. So there are three general types: plant-based, and then the seafood and algae-based ones. So if there are any vegans in there, take part, you can still use algae supplements for your EPA and DHA, along with the ALA, walnut, flax, and chia sometimes, especially flax, top. Same with seafood like herring and mackerel, shrimp, halibut, and others. So it's been found to decrease the severity of heart disease in those events. Other benefits include brain health, depression, attention span issues, anxiety. It can help your skin and eye health, and a lot more. So a little background on that: the brain is about 60% fat, and the omega-3 coats the myelin sheath and the connections in the brain, so that's very important. Omega-3 has to do with they're not all extreme detail here, but it helps the eyes and the skin. There's a layer under the skin that is directly benefited by omega-3 prevention of the skin. So it's just very important. And leads to responsibility there called pH for essential fatty acids. You know, you have to make sure you continue they're essential to life. And so I hear a lot of people say, yeah, I was taking my fish oil, you know, it's like, no, well, okay, if you're not taking any kind of, consuming fish, or, I wish there was more seaweed products out there. It's becoming more popular very slowly. People like sushi and seaweed salad and things like that. So it's becoming more slowly. But I think that's one area to really need to look into, is the sustainable ways to use algae-based, seaweed-based products with EPA and DHA. So we need all three of those. So a little bit of the ALA can be converted to the EPA and DHA. Okay, so other vendors are working on that. Okay, so in that DNA test I was telling you earlier about, it tells you if you need to the average amount or an additional amount. Okay, so it just seems so complicated, right? We've been just running on a long time about all kinds of things, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's just so much more. But in general, we can eat healthier by using the white plate. And so this is a very basic white plate that I just made up here, and you can see that basically, if we follow this very simple diagram, I want to say that just a lot of our disease would be eradicated. It's just so simple. Fruits and vegetables make half the plate, and maybe we're doing low carb, just maybe all vegetables, occasional fruit, maybe once or twice a day, and then complex carbs like we're talking about, like whole grains, whole wheat, brown rice, quinoa, farro, there's all kinds of different things out there. And lean proteins. I hate that this is red because it makes it look like red meat, but no, avoiding red meat and processed meat. So unfortunately, pork, they lied. It is not the other white meat, it's red meat also. And it's basically talking iron in it. So I know. Now, it's not the end of the world. I mean, they just want you to cut down the pork into low-fat cuts, maybe 2-3 times a week, something like that. I try to help people maybe use on special occasions and whatnot. Salami, pepperoni, those are all very salted and processed meats, and those are the worst. Good choices include lean meat and eggs, beans, nuts, seeds, fish, tofu, soy, and more. It's amazing how many times you can just make a dish with just nuts, like that cashew stir fry or something like that. You can make it into everything. And so here's some other my plates. There's the vegetarian healthy plate. There's all kinds of my plates renditions out there. Harvard has a really good one I use almost every day. And they took me looking out for water there. It's important that these are good. Just make sure that you do have a calcium source. So it doesn't really mention calcium in these my plates if you only need plate. So a lot of people are lactose intolerant, and so if you're Asian, you're like 90% chance you're lactose intolerant. And so basically, you're going to see the fruits and vegetables. That's just on the digestive, so the prebiotics, and you have healthy fats, and then complex carbs, and here this is vegetarian protein. And so last year has another regular plate running around. And so I'm going to do that one too. So you kind of get the idea. And so it looks easy, and I empathize because it looks easy, but it's much more harder so far. So let's say going down to the Sumo's, you're going to O'Connell, right? I mean, are they gonna serve it with the pasta, it's just a one quarter of the plate? It's your whole plate, exactly, it's the whole plate, and then there's garlic bread. So the carbs stay on one quarter of the plate. No, there is a problem. So that, let's say you go to the sandwich shop, or you go to anywhere, somewhere. The pizza is not going to be, that's a tiny quarter of it. So that is a problem. So what can we do? I mean, a big strategy for sure. So, going back to that, I think we're going to come back in a little bit. Okay, so fats are a very controversial topic, but it is very clear that it's not so much cholesterol right now, but it's the saturated fats, which come with the cholesterol foods that are still seen as very unhelpful. They're the ones that are solid, that large, solid at room temperature. And so usually it's animal products, meat, dairy, eggs, and so we have to watch the amounts that you're having. Polyunsaturated and mono are both very good. Fish, nuts, seeds, oils, some of those things. Avocado, olive, canola. So all very good. It just means that it's not, the molecules are not saturated entirely saturated. And so that's easier on the body, and so it's just better for us as well. And so again, olive oil, avocado, walnuts, super good. That's cool. So, okay, back to the my plate. But anyway, so these are real world my plates. I was on a cruise ship recently, and I wasn't in the mood for the bread muffins. I had to make some potatoes in there, but that was one quarter of the carbs. So I had fruit, over that. Well, there's some bell peppers in there you can't see on the tomato. So I tried to make it pretty and appetizing. The other thing, cheese. So see what I'm doing? The protein here, the carbs, and the fruits and vegetables. That's kind of what I was trying to do. It's not the best example like that. But then there's that, pretend that the whole wheat crust, probably do more vegetables on that. That's the chance you get for you on that. And then shrimp stir fry here. And if there's a carb, like maybe brown rice or something, it'd be just like a half cup, a very small serving. Give you a carb with that. And again, this is kind of like, you have to be careful because this is also, it has to be customized for each person. I've had people come to me who are firefighters, construction workers, and so yeah, they're probably a little bit more carbs than what's important. I'm just talking about the average person who's just sitting in their desk all day and trying to get them out of exercise. So that's what would be helpful. And then this is a pho, and what I like to do is just order maybe half the noodles and just take half the noodles on the table. So it's not such a high carb for that meal. So usually probably tons of vegetables and try to use up that every plate. Okay, so beans. Beans is one of my favorite subjects. Is there anybody like beans food? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's some people mad and they just hate beans and the texture and everything. Or they don't know. Usually two things. Either they hate the texture or they don't realize all the things you do with it. So if you see over there, those are all things you do. All of them. So you have roasted chickpeas. That they're sold as snacks. You can make them at home. And they're in air fryer. Those are black bean brownies. And I use I think it's called, I can't remember the name, the sugar-free brownie mix, which is made from scratch. And then this is like a bean dip down here, and there's several bean dips that I like to do. And that one is a smoothie, a white bean smoothie. And so those are beans in there. I tried one the first time, and it took me about 6 months to get over the fear of trying that bean smoothie. It's actually good. It just, think of it as nature's protein shake. It's just, it's no protein powder or anything. It's really nice.
Beans have sweetness. They have sweetness.
They have a little bit of sweetness, yeah, because they are a carb.
I can totally see a white bean.
What?
I can totally see that in a white bean.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so complex carbs, not the refined kinds of most of beans are. They're seen as cheap, boring food. They're very still today's world. It's still pretty cheap. You can get a whole bag for $1. It'll last you quite long. And then they're chock full of nutrition. The magnesium we were talking about, lots of magnesium. It's one of the higher ones. Tons of fiber, very good for that body. Protein, packed with nutrients, lots of protein. I see a lot of people, they are eating a lot of meat and they didn't realize that the beans have that much protein. They didn't know the percentages for that. So that's interesting. So salt, we got to talk about that too, because that would also help many things, especially high blood pressure. Oh yeah, so the human body needs roughly only about 500 or more milligrams a day. And so, in general, the current limitations are around 2,400 milligrams a day. And that's about as much as you can salt. And so the thought has been that increasing the blood volume on breast is just more about pump and therefore just more stressful on the heart. And they're still trying to figure that out. Now they're finding out that it may not make you thirstier, which I think is different. I think it makes you very thirsty, but it makes us hungrier. So it's like, and salt is everywhere. And people tell me all the time that I don't add salt. And I'll get to that in a second. Okay. So the DASH diet is a dietary attempts to stop hypertension, or approaches, dietary approaches to stop hypertension. It's just basically a low sodium diet, lots of fruits and vegetables. And so they're thinking about changing that to 1,500, not 2,400. And the thing is that even if you don't add salt to the food, it's just already packed into nutritious food that you buy all the time, not just junk food. And what's disturbing is I'll hear people saying, well, I'm Nutella fresh and stuff like that. It sounds great. And then I find out, oh my gosh, it's 700 to 900 milligrams of sodium in what they're eating. And so that will increase your appetite for and make them want to eat more on different food. And restaurant food is another area, and fast food. And the healthy, that's what really gets my goat experience on that. People are eating, they're buying, choosing things that look healthier, and they're not. There's just too much salt in it. So there's some tweaks and things that can be done. I have some clients, what they're doing is really cool. They're getting meal kits, but they're not adding the salt that they told you. They're saying, oh yeah, I have this salt and they're not adding it. Well, they tell me that, but I think that they're probably not. So that's good. And so just finding ways to just really watch that sodium. So then they'll say, well, some people still do like quinoa and different things. They're still all salt, so you have to be careful. One salt that I do like is that one. It's the sea salt that also has seaweed thrown in as well. And it goes with a lot of dishes, probably not in brownies and much things like that, but certain dishes like, I don't know, eggs or whatever, it really works. And you're trying to get used to the taste. And it's got a seaweed, a little bit of seaweed taste. They kind of get used to it, we don't even notice the seaweed that much. But anyway, that's one natural way to get to that, both your own natural iodine salts. So one thing to do about reducing salt, which is very bad for the heart, and it doesn't help diabetes either, is to just use really fresh ingredients and just enjoy the taste of the ingredients. Salt traditionally has been used to flavor up food that wasn't that great. One of the reasons. And so just use that, enjoy herbs, and try to maybe eat something, enjoying the way it is first before you begin to add any salt and then add as little as you can to make it taste kind of nutritional yeast is really cool, and it tastes kind of cheesy, and it's added, and it's really salty. It's crazy how you do that. Or vinegar combination, seaweed flakes, and all of that. And there's some salt substitutes which you have to be careful with, but that's another option as well. So let's see here. So getting to a healthy weight range is very critical. So using a sustainable way that's not a dangerous fad diet, and also something that can become a lifelong habit. Avoiding processed foods and refined foods, which is really hard to do. There's a lot of tempting things out there. Stick to the natural sweeteners like dates, honey. I love stevia. There's some new things like monk fruit extract and things like that. Splenda and aspartame are generally recognized as safe by the government, which doesn't mean a whole lot of it. And the thing is just that there has been some smoke is fire about gut biome disruption. Those two, aspartame and sucralose, aka Splenda, are just totally man-made. Aspartame is made by accident, and Splenda also is just totally knocked out the nature. So it just bothers me a little bit. And sometimes I'll forget my spaghetti packets and end up, having something but in general, it's not a good idea because I see people like they're getting these protein shakes or things just every day they're having to do that. I don't do. So. Food-based or some ingredients, vitamin D3 around here is really vitamin D3, and that's also been helpful for both heart disease and diabetes. And so that's from the sun we get usually in our skin, but it can be hard to get around here, especially in the winter. So with COVID and everything, so it's good to take a supplement on that. No more than 4,000 units per day maximum, and usually less than anything else talked about like that. Vitamin K2 is good to take with D3 because it helps the calcification that happens from D3. Okay, omega-3s are good, and then if you love yourself, like different foods. So some supplements here and there I do, encourage. Depending on the And there's some medicinal things that you can get in plants that are food-based, that are not total medicine, like plant stanols. I think everybody's seen like Benecol margarine, that's just one thing that you can. I'm not saying Benecol is great or anything, but I'm just saying that plant stanols as a supplement is found in that margarine. And there's some other food type of ingredients that can be helpful. And the last resort before we go to medications, for statins and things like that. So, there are some food-based supplements that are still food ingredient supplements that can help with that. Okay, so of course I just want to mention something like making sure we live a whole lifestyle. That's what I do. We also find people take their sleep, stress levels, all kinds of things. And the hobby they have just really is really comprehensive to help a whole person. So those are all very important. Sleep is a whole other topic. And exercise, and we're talking about right now, is extremely important for preventing heart disease and diabetes, and just about everything else as well. Walking and exercising right after a meal can help the body's insulin work better. And also, so just getting on a walk, just going on a walk after a meal, just make it a habit, Yeah, and managing weight, we talked about that. It strengthens your heart, exercise does, and raises the good cholesterol, HDL, which helps get rid of bad cholesterol. So that's very important, very, very important. And it's very important to not force yourself to do something that you don't want to do. It has to be something that you like to do because you're trying to make a habit, right? Habit is you like. Okay, so the gut biome, we're back to that. There's so many fascinating things about that gut biome, which is crazy. It is really crazy. It affects everything. A lot of mental health, physiological health conditions. So these are some different conditions: atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, heart failure, and type 2 diabetes. And so these are some different strains that were either up or down in those type of situations. And and so I never forget this one thing, which is I forget about the raffle. But anyway, they took an obese person, very overweight, they took a thin person, and they put the fecal material, and they implanted it into the overweight person that lost 30 pounds, no other changes. So that means that the overweight person is lacking the strength of the person. And so this is changing everything. It changes your appetite, changes how you process things, everything. So the gut biome, I'm thinking of the future that most doctors are going to be having skin taxes as part of their routine. They probably need to know this too. So that's very important. So I know I'm a big fan of longevity. I hope I can make it to 100 and on, but I don't know. But if you are 100 plus years old and you live in regions, you probably are not suffering from diabetes or heart disease. So there's places in the world where they live to be 100 or more. And I'm very fascinated following this family movement. Please tell me if you check it out. He's a researcher for National Geographic, and he travels all over the world trying to look at people and what they're doing. And so, anybody heard of something? A couple of you? Okay. No one else? Yeah, okay. So you two, maybe? Okay. Okay, so these are the places, and the only place that was in the United States was, you're saying maybe the coast of California, too, the Loma Linda, California. And Nicoya, Costa Rica, Sardinia, Greece. And so it's really fascinating, and these are things they found in common. So they have a different, they don't have as much stress over there, a little bit more low key, more community-based. They have a plant-heavy diet. In fact, if you go back to here, Loma Linda, California is a Seventh-day Adventist population, so their denomination of Christianity, they don't have any of that. They're pretty much supposed to be all vegetarian. So as soon as you go out of that city, you get a heart attack and stroke. Pretty much it. Now, the rest of them are not vegetarian like that, but meat is not a centerpiece like it is here. Like here, it's just like meat and meat and meat and more meat. Over there, it's like, oh, fish and vegetables and fish and beans, and like in Costa Rica, and they will still a little bit. It's like that. It's not like heavy meat. So that's very interesting to me. So the thing is, we just implement all these things. It can be really helpful. In Japan, the social network is extremely strong. There are these clubs you're literally born into, and if somebody doesn't show up to a meeting or something, literally everybody will see what's going on. And they come back into the order, it's just checking. So it's just really interesting. There's a lot of social community stuff going on, a lot of them. A lot of walking, a lot of, a little bit more relaxedness about work. And family comes first, basically, these types of places. So stress management is very important. So, right on time. So in conclusion, as we've heard before, adding more fruits and vegetables, but hopefully this has shown you why and how maybe a little bit more. Sometimes it's just all the different ways you can actually do some of that. The mind plate and trying to find plates and modifying your plate to make it look more like the mind plate, even if it's not culturally good enough. More plant-based protein from reducing red meat processing, reducing processed food overall, which is very everywhere and very tempting to get to sometimes. Adding in exercise daily with rich life, focusing on balance, and nutrients that may be harder to get in the diet. And so, these sounds all great and all, but it's sometimes easier said than done. So, we like a dietitian, we are here to help you get past those challenges. And I love it when somebody has a challenge, like bring it on because, I want to see them improve and get better. And so the best thing I can tell you is if you take all these good practices, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'll find a way to make it a habit. Because when you make it a habit, then that's where the consistency comes in. So it has to be something you like to do, it can work in your ecosystem, and you make it a habit and then it can become consistent. And so it's almost weird if you don't take a walk after stuff. It's weird if you just want to always have the vegetables, it just becomes a habit. Okay? So, real quick about just what I can do for you. I'm right here on the service right across the freeway. And so, these are just some of the things that we do with a healthy app that we use. And so, my clients can have direct communication with me. We have customized meal plans that are extremely customizable. It's really cool. So, if someone can't eat gluten, for example, we can do that. They have fructose intolerance, if they have eating disorders, and just about anything, several block categories. I work with behavior and lifestyle change, so I like helping people to make change. I prefer people who are motivated to begin with their that's all they want. If not, we can work with that too, though. It's just a little bit more fun once they're there and have motivation already. And so, also one of my favorite things to do is taking comfort foods. I'm not going to lie, I like comfort foods, right? Okay, but making them healthy, doing the tweaks to make them healthy. I love doing that. So, professional grade supplements, I have that too. Personalized testing, that's what we're about. I do take all of insurance. A lot of people don't know that private practice dietitians take insurance. So they're very excited to hear that. Unfortunately, for Medicare, only diabetes and CKD right now, but they're lobbying and actively trying to change that to dietitian practice. So I do take all of those plans. I go and check with any one of you or some of you represent me away. Definitely check into that for you to see 700% that we can do regularly. And we have telehealth available. And my focus is mostly on GI health and food sensitivity testing and long-term weight loss guidance. And some MMT here and there too, especially people coming to me and saying, oh my God, I don't want to get on stand, I don't want to get on whatever it is informing. So I help you that too. So that I enjoy that, love that. And to take care of your body and then take you places. Although I have a car. Anyway, and that is it. And who wants to see what happens to choir? What happens to that meeting? This is after they got money for wrestling. So he was able to revamp the diet. So remember the kid wanted salads? I personally throw in more kale. He really likes the nuts.
Oh.
Yes, too much butter. Anyway, if you haven't seen the movie, it's really cute. Anyway, thank you guys so much for showing up here today.
Yeah, thank you. So lunch is back there, but we also have a raffle, so we have questions. And who are our participants is Cody? Alger? Is that what you said? Yeah.
The other four are not saying anything.
And I'll leave my contact information conversation up here, if you guys want to talk, you want to ask questions over here, hanging out.
So we're gonna pull a name, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. If you get it right, then you win. If you don't get it right, you pull the next one. See if you are paying attention.
Can't just show up and win.
Oh, God.
Renee.
Pressure.
What is one of the top three leading causes of blindness in the U.S.?
Thank you.
Do we accept that
I
or not?
personally don't think so.
Would accept that? Okay.
Yeah.
Diabetes,
Oh, yeah. Diabetes.
help yourself to some lunch, you guys.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Just got one question, that's it.
One question. Good job.
What did she win?
Nice. Cathy.
Yeah.
So, just me and my husband. How do you do it kind of as a couple? Because, I'm not interested in cooking 2 meals. I'm not, so.